Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. As many of you know, I am a woman in long-term recovery. I'm also a CARC, a CRPA, a rape crisis counselor, and a Narcan trainer. If you look at my description box down below, you will find a link for a video that I have done in the past that describes all of that. Also, you will find my link tree, which has all my social media, merchandise, all that good stuff. You'll also find the link for Smacked down below, which is a documentary that I did in 2017, 2018, where I was in my local Delaware County jail, and that was like my first steps on my pathway to recovery. It's scary. I look scary. I don't even watch it still to this day because it brings all the feels. And not in a good way. Yeah, so that's down there. And of course, as always, my Amazon wish list. So I have a few up. I have my regular go bags, which I use to help people in my local community who are just home from incarceration, struggling, rehab, institutions, jails, you know, yada, yada, yada. And I'm in the process of updating it, so please go ahead and take a gander. I always have a harm reduction wish list, but that is available by request only because it's not everybody's cup of tea and we don't want to offend or, you know, do any bad. We just want to do good. I also have down below my Father's Day wish list. That just has a couple of things that I wasn't able to purchase on my own, and just a couple little, you know, like gift bag, like the actual gift bags, and then some like barbecue seasoning. Everything else I pretty much got on my own, and a couple of you I reached out to privately, and y'all did your thing. So if you guys could help out with that, that'd be cool because dads count too. And a lot of times, unfortunately, we forget that and we make a huge deal about Mother's Day and not a big deal about Father's Day. And when you're in the shelter or you're on your own and it's Father's Day, that really sucks when you're forgotten. So I try to remember everybody and everybody's holidays. That being said, also down below is the GoFundMe and the petition for my friend Michael Shimmerhorn, who was killed just a little over a week ago in a New York State prison called Washington Correctional Facility. So if you don't know anything about that, please ask. And if you do, please sign that petition, share it, share the GoFundMe, donate if you can. Like, let's just make it happen. I will say that Mikey was cremated this week. And services will be to be announced. We're working out the details and all that stuff now. So with that being said, I'm getting ready to leave here in a little bit, and I am going to go see Jess and Reese and the girls. So when you see this, I will be in the good old Chi-town. So that's always great. I always love going to see my other family. Unfortunately, this is just a short thing, and Jared has work, so he's not coming. Hopefully next month when I go, he will accompany me. But I'm sure that will be a great time. Today, I am going to talk to you about monthly supplies in prison. So each state does like their own thing, and as you know, I've served a bulk of time in New York State Correctional Facility, probably altogether between 6 and 7 years, just, you know, in the installment plan. Sadly enough, but it has made me the person I am today, and for that I am super grateful because without that I wouldn't be here with you amazing people. Monthly supplies are something that we get every month. It's between the 1st and the 5th of the month depending on when the trucks come in, and we get things given to us to allow us to be able to survive while incarcerated. Well, I say survive loosely because, you know, it's not food products or anything. But this is how New York State gets away with paying us like 7 cents an hour because they provide 3 hot and a cot. So 3 hot and a cot means 3 hot meals, and a cot meaning, you know, a place to lay your head to sleep, basically. Now, New York is very, very fortunate because other states do not do this at all. So when supplies come in, the officer, the porters on the unit will be in charge of giving out the supplies under the watchful eye of the officer, because these are things that can be bought at the store, but who would want to buy something at the store when they can get it for free for being there and save their money for food and other items to, like, you know, really exist in life. So we are given 5 rolls of toilet paper a month. Sounds like a lot when you're like, oh, 5 rolls of toilet paper. But if you think about it, when you're in prison, toilet papers act as paper towels. They act as napkins. They act as a million other things. You can use them to do like craft projects, like when you like smear markers and deodorant and stuff. I'll have to do like a crafting day video with you guys for prison crafts. And as a woman, when you have your monthly, you use toilet paper more to cover things and whatnot. So 5 rolls of toilet paper, like, you really got to stretch it. It sucks. And as for females, we use toilet paper all the time. So you get that. You get 1 toothbrush, 1 tube of toothpaste, which is cool. I don't use that tube of toothpaste. I actually usually would just refuse it. I would prefer to buy my own because it's like cement, minty cement in a bottle. It's disgusting. Bob Barker. And then you get 2 bars of Core Craft soap, which is like great to wash your socks in the sink with because it bleaches them clean. I would not use it on my skin. It's not, it's gross. And then let me see. So you get soap, you get toothpaste, you get toilet paper, you get a bag of sanitary napkins, which are mini diapers in a sense. Not that they have like the leg holes, but the thickness of them, they're terrible. I would actually use them to clean my floor in my cell because we had linoleum flooring. So what I would do is make a solution of like cleaning products, and I would dip the sanitary pad inside the water and wring it out, and then I would keep the plastic on the back, and I would just use my hand and just, you know, hand wash my floor inside my cell. So that was that. And then the one golden thing that we got was 25 tampons. So it was like, it equated to a box of tampons, which that was amazing. That made supplies all worth it. Because you could buy tampons at the store, but they were super expensive. They were like $7 or $8 a box. And for commissary prices, that's very, very high. And that's a lot of money when you only get $55 every 2 weeks to shop with. Tampons were like gold. And then we would also get a 5 envelopes. The envelopes they have the prison name and address already pre-printed on it. And they were just like legal size, regular white envelopes. And they had a spot for your name and DIN number on the other side, like underneath the address. So you would get 5 envelopes, and sometimes, depending on what came in for supplies, you would get a paper, like a pad of paper, or maybe another thing, like if they had extras of something down in the state shop. But yeah, like that's like your monthly supplies. But the simple fact that you get 5 rolls of toilet paper and 25 tampons is life-changing. Like, oh my God, that in itself, there were times, especially this last bid, like I did this last bid pretty much alone because Jared went to prison. I was like maybe a year in and he went to prison. So my mother-in-law held it down, thank God, but she was holding us both down. And that gets really expensive. Like, it's really expensive for families to hold down inmates. So the simple fact that she was holding us both down, I would never really ask for much. So what I got, I used on food. And I'm just super grateful that I was in a state that provided toilet paper and tampons and pads of paper. And like the deal with envelopes, like they would give you 5 every time for supplies, but you could go back over and ask the officer at any point in time for more envelopes and they would always give them to you. Like they would get big boxes, like picture like 2 shoe boxes together. And that's what was filled with envelopes. And they usually had like 4 or 5 of them on the unit to give out for envelopes. So envelopes were always easily obtainable. But toilet paper and tampons, like if you had a cool officer, especially like a female, like if you had a cool female officer and there was a surplus of tampons left over from supplies, she would like in the morning when not everybody was there because there wouldn't be enough for everybody, but she would let everybody come back up and pick like 5 more or 8 more. And that was like killer because as we all know, those things go like crazy and you use several of them when you need them, not to be too graphic. So yeah, I'm really grateful that New York, the only reason why New York does this, like, let me put this out there. The only reason why New York does this is because women have grieved and grieved and grieved and grieved and grieved and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote like crazy ladies for years to explain to the fact that people cannot live off of 7 cents an hour. And if you have us incarcerated and you're supposed to provide for us, as women, we have female issues and we need you to be able to provide for us. And now I believe the men get the same thing, minus obviously the tampons and pads. So that is always one way to get things done, is you have to band together and you all have to grieve the same issue continuously until somebody in Albany says, hey, all these ladies are complaining about the same thing. Let's go down to the jail, let's go down to the prison, and let's go take a look and see what we can do to stop this paper trail, because when audits come around, this does not look good. That's basically what happens. And the men are wonderful at bonding together and grieving things. The women, they get a little petty at times, unfortunately. So yeah, monthly supplies, like I said, let's name it off from the top. You got 5 rolls of toilet paper, toothbrush, toothpaste, 2 bars of CARC soap, and they're just like regular. They're shaped like weird the way that they're cut. So they're not like a full size, but they're not a small one. They're like a medium-sized bar of soap. And then you also get a bag of pads. I think you get 2 bags of pads actually, but I would always only take 1 because I just used it to clean my floor or clean my shoes. And then 25 tampons, a pad of paper, and 5 state envelopes. And yeah, that's our monthly supplies in New York. I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. And remember, we recover loudly so those behind us do not suffer in silence. Bye, everybody.